We're going to be mailing out.
Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness. That Muhammad.
And that's right. We're right across the river from Palestine. As a matter of fact, here in Aqaba, the new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that, inshallah ta'ala, we'll all be able to benefit from.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.
And we're coming to you almost live from our studios right here in Southern California. Yeah, and we got some great topics tonight that we want to talk about. And one of the things that I really want to focus on is how we're dealing with this overwhelming emotions that we have. And let's just jump right into it. Let's start out by what is it, what's going on, and how can we rectify it? I got to turn on some lights here. And yeah, there. Now, I feel brighter. Get it? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I got some guests, but I'll introduce them in a minute. First and foremost, I want to tell you about the makeup of human beings. Can I do that? Yeah, I think I'm going to do that right now. Let's first of all, I want to focus on women. I like women, so let's start with that one right there. Women are crazy. All right, that's it. I just want to be sure that you know that. And yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? Now, some women are out there going, that's not very nice, you know. But the reason that I'm saying this, because I'm also going to tell you about men. Men are stupid, all right? Yeah, that's it. You got that? And the reason women are crazy is because, let me put that up there. Okay, where is that? Yeah, here we go. The reason women are crazy is because men are what? Stupid. All right, now, there we go. I just want to play with that little joke first of all to get started. Because one of the things that can help when you're doing a program like this is to get the attention of the audience. And one of the ways to get the attention is to do something a little bit different, a little bit funny, a little bit levity, you know, where you feel like, yeah, all right, that's crazy. But, you know, the subject that we're going to be talking about is dealing with another type of emotion that's we haven't really talked about before. But it is an overall sense of sadness, just being sad. How can I deal with sadness? And to help us talk about this, we have Dr. Sultan, who is with us tonight. Dr. Sultan, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. How are you? How is everything going in St. Louis, Mo?
Mashallah, everything is good as usual as was yesterday. No change from yesterday to today. And no change in the last 1 year, except things getting worse. Some ray of hope, you know, with the vaccine and California, some things, incidents coming down. So these are the first few good news are coming about in the last 1 year. So I'm quite hopeful that things will turn around.
Okay. And let me go ahead and introduce my other guest tonight. We have with us all the way from Tampa, Florida, and we want to bring him out right now, Dr. Ado. Assalamu alaikum, doctor.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And how are things in Tampa, Florida going? How is the virus?
Cold. I posted a picture with ice this morning going to Fajr. You know, the car, I have
ice?
to like, wow, this
ice?
is not New York. Yeah, it was all the grass the green grass turned white, you know. And
Oh, you're talking about the weather. I thought you were talking about that group of extremist Muslims, ISIS.
We went down to 37 degrees, so this is very unusual.
Okay, all right, that's cool. Well, that was a pun, wasn't it? That's cool. Yeah. Anyway, Doctor, if you just bear with me now, I would like to talk about sadness. And in the Arabic language, what is that? What is that word for sadness?
The sadness is huzn, and if you have extreme sadness, it will be ham and gham. Those are the extreme magnified sorrow or sadness. So in Islam, you know, we're all humans. We're all going through a lot of challenges and testings and so on, and trials and tribulations. But we're focused mostly on the solutions and how to really transform this from sadness into something else, you know, positive, and inspire people and uplift them. Because you know, I'm going to mention a few things that you know, especially now with the affective seasonal disorder in the cold weather and the absence of sunshine and the isolation of COVID and so on is contributing to a large extent to that. And then, of course, everybody knows we surpassed the 400,000 fellow American passed away due to COVID. So it is definitely something that everybody need to know about it. And then I figured to kind of share, at least from the Muslim point of view. And a beautiful book by Dr. Aid al-Qarani. He was one of the most eminent Muslim scholars in Saudi Arabia, and I have a lot of respect for him. And he had this book on Amazon in English and Arabic and my other language called Don't Be Sad, La Tahzan. Don't be sad. And a few tips that I'm going to mention and hopefully will help others and everybody listening and watching to turn the adversities into something positive. Number one, do not be shaken by hardship. Rather pause and think about the hardship and then how you can learn and improve and be uplifted from this, what it looks to be adversities.
Let's focus on that one particular point that you're talking about right now. You're saying that the number one thing is that how can I put that in simple terms in English? It's one word.
Some people freak out. I lost my job. I lost my income. I lost, you know, so, and they get this shock. So it said, do not be shaken by hardship. You know, rather pause. I'll take a deep breath and then say, Alhamdulillah. And then we know that I could be better. I'm still have my health. I'm still have my iman. I still can, you know, find another job. I can regroup and think about a positive solution and way out and think about a new skill to learn, you know, and modify my, you know, my career if needed. Whatever it takes to modify to the event so that I can pay the bills and put food on the table and still put my hand on the ground and thank God for whatever that is happening. So that, you know, yes, it's a hardship, but it's a way that
I was looking for one word, and I think I counted more than one. I'm looking for one word. What is the bullet point one? Let's do it that way. Huh? Patience, sabr. In the Arabic language would be sabr?
Yes, sabr. Yes, patience.
Don't give up.
Now everybody's talking about resilience, which part of it is sabr, but also be positive to kind of turn this around, the adversities into, you know, something that make you stronger. Don't make you a victim, but rather a survivor.
All right. Point number two. Yeah.
Doing good to bear your hardship with sincerity. You know, well, I lost job, I lost income. You know, how about going and delivering food? How about going and serving, you know, helping people with delivering medications or bringing a smile or blanket for the people who are suffering in cold. So something that you will do good that will help you in the therapy. Helping others, but that will give you comfort to your heart. It will soothe your pain. It will distract you, and it will help you to feel good, actually, about this, how could I say, transfer of energy from something negative into something positive.
Okay. one word on this one, or 2 words, or 3 words max?
That's like the quiz for tonight. I mean, doing khair.
Do good
amal
deeds.
salihat.
Is that okay?
Huh?
Do good deeds.
Yeah. Do good deeds. Do good
All
amal
right.
salihat.
Okay. The good
it will help you,
deeds.
and it's good for the heart. Mhm.
Yeah. All right. I got that. All right.
Don't be sad from, do you want a lot of provision? Hey, I used to have a big Lamborghini and a big mansion and all that. Now I have a 1-bedroom apartment or a little, studio. I'm delivering pizza. I used to be a CEO executive on Wall Street. Now I'm delivering pizza to make ends meet and so on. So right now, in the Quran, you look at that and you modify things, but then also with rida. When we wake up in the morning, we say, Allah, we accepted whatever you ordained for us, and we accepted Islam as a religion and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as our messenger.
All right. So you're talking about the impact that the charitable deeds should have on your life. Is that basically what?
Very good, and you could transfer your credit line, from good deeds. A lot of people are just obsessed with dollars and cents, but there's this is the only currency that will be the currency at the day of judgment, the currency of good deeds. So you got to invest in that account. And then how to deal with better criticism. Somebody's doesn't like my work, make fun of me on the job, every day that I go in there, or things that could be done in a better way, but I don't do it, and then I have all this sadness that I'm a failure, I'm no good, I'm so and so and so forth, and the shaitan, of course, amplify that and makes it devil makes it all worse, so that the people go into extreme sadness. Some people say, I put a goal to lose 40 pounds, and now I'm only gaining, I'm not losing, and then people go into sadness. And then you can give a billion example into that, but don't get yourself be sucked in by this negativity. Do not expect gratitude from anyone. Somebody give you a tap on the shoulder.
It sounds like you went. You just did too. Is that true?
I mean, the criticism. One way.
We got to break it down now. What's the one word we want to? How do I deal with that? What is the thing that I'm going to do?
I think resilience could be a part of it, or tahammul, that you could bear what's happening without breaking. That's the best way by adjusting to the way that you respond to criticism.
Be
so
happy.
It doesn't burn you out.
Show a good face in the front of the people, and don't show the sadness. Is that what you're saying, basically?
Yes. And if you have to cry to Allah, you could do that. Just go make wudu, and then go and take a few minute break from the job or whatever, lunch break, or some people take cigarette break, but you can take this 10 minutes and then make wudu and then pray to Allah, and you cry to Allah to help you through this adversity.
All right.
The next is, do not expect gratitude from anyone. Ajrak ala Allah. Your words come with Allah, the big boss. He's the one who pays us all. Those who, you work hard and you expect payment from Allah. You don't want to expect a tap on the shoulder from anybody. You're doing it, for the sake of Allah, and then you would not expect any gratitude from anyone. Allah knows and sees what you're doing, because some people always look, they're gonna come and give me, a word, or say, mashallah, this and that. You're not doing this for anything.
Like thumbs up.
There's nothing wrong with encouragement. There's nothing wrong. But if you didn't have any thumbs up, would that be causing sadness?
Do the thumbs up again.
You can recognize. That's the whole point.
Yeah. I'm showing a picture of people doing a cartoon of people doing thumbs up. So there you go.
Rebel boredom with work. So get yourself busy. Oh, I have no job. Well, I still can go out and volunteer, cleaning the street or delivering food or helping. There's so many ways right now. Nobody can really have an excuse for not doing a lot of good work, a lot of volunteering, because there's a lot of need to do that work out there. Or you could also find a job if you are having time, or you're looking to obviously earn money. The bottom line is get yourself busy with work. That's the bottom line. Don't let the free time and the shaitan play on your psyche and then get you all wrapped up. You got to be distracted from the negativity and get busy with it.
All right. Well, we're showing a clock right now, and so that's the idea. Make it use your time, but use your time, but use it wisely. How about that?
Yes, absolutely. And if it's not work, maybe you can do the dhikrullah, remembrance of Allah. You could do prayer. You could do exercise. You could do relaxation techniques. Whatever it is that's going to be beneficial and useful, rather than just sitting and being helpless and being sad. And the pills, by the way, by itself, it doesn't work unless the person would be willing to kind of, want to get better. So it has to work, along with that will is there. And then he made a very nice example in his book, Convert a Lemon into a Sweet Drink. How could you do that? Lemon is by itself is bitter, a little bit, kind of taste, but when you put a little sugar or sweet or honey, then it has a sweet taste, and it becomes, palatable for people to drink and enjoy. So he's given an example of how people went through hardship and came out really with awesome experiences. And, the Prophet ﷺ, as he was tortured in Mecca and so on and so forth. So what happened? Went to Medina, and then Islam grew and spread, and the light spread from there. Alayhi salatu wasalam. Ibn Taymiyyah, which one of the very, very prominent scholars, he was put in prison. So he came out to even more accomplishment scholar, as he was using this every minute and learning and increasing his knowledge. Ibn Kathir, as we read the books for the tafsir of the Quran, he spent most of his time in learning about the science of hadith as he was crippled, as he was handicapped. And, he's giving those really very uplifting and inspiring events on how people went through illness and went through hardships, and they came out with more knowledge and to share with humanity. And this is on their ongoing charity after their death. There are so many people. Every time you read Quran, you want tafsir, the explanation, you go to Ibn Kathir, wow, I didn't know that he was crippled, and he was doing all this work while crippled. And so on and so forth. They memorized Quran when they went through these hardships.
Okay, and one word about that particular point. What's the word? You said keep busy, and then
yes.
Then the next thing you said was whenever life deals you lemons, make lemonade.
How could you make a sweet drink out of lemon?
There you go. I like it. I love that. That's a great
That's
idea.
how we have this example in Egypt. I'm sure you remember. نعمل من الفسيخ شربات. When we went from something really salty and bitter, we turn it into something sweet.
All right.
The exact phrase is how to make lemonade out of lemon.
That you got the idea, trying to don't just do whine and complain and so on, but to take this opportunity to really improve and advance and be of a good help to others, and then find consolation by remembering the afflicted. Well, I lost my job, but you know what? Somebody lost his job, his house, his man, this and that. So, alhamdulillah, you look at, people compare it, and you look to the people below you, not the people above you. This way you'll have so much content in your heart. How come I don't have this mansion? Don't look into that. But look at the people. Alhamdulillah, do you have enough food for the day? Are you safe and sound? Did you walkie-talkie? Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Because everybody's afflicted in one way or the other. So that by itself will help you to, hey, it's not, I'm not that bad. It's not that bad, compared to others. And say, Alhamdulillah. So, and finally, this is important for, being sad is not encouraging our deen. Our deen, and I'll mention, a few things as we move along. وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا. Allah is telling us and forbade us from getting sadness, because the sadness has very deleterious health effects and psychological effects and mental and physical, well-being, and it really destroys, the society. And when everybody goes into this, either depression or sadness or manic depressive, we hear about this bipolar disorder, go from, very, very depressed into very, hyperactive and manic. And unfortunately, with COVID, there's a surge in that, and surge in alcohol and other things that will depress, and worsen the health even further. And then learn about the art of happiness. How could you make your own happiness? You know what? Let's go after work. Let's play some soccer with the kids, or have some like the Turkish couple, that invented the COVID vaccine. They just had a nice Turkish tea, and they go to work on the bicycle. Simple pleasures like that. Take a walk around the block with fresh air, and of course, tahajjud at night. These are just kind of a little bit of hints that will definitely turn the sadness into either less sadness, or turning into a much better situation where we can move forward and thank Allah, for that, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the patience and perseverance. You'll get extra rewards. So this was just like a little summary of the book, but I have other things that I had from Ibn Taymiyyah and so on. If you ever find yourself like, when people look at what is happiness, do not get sad. Ibn al-Qayyim, may Allah have rahmah on him. So, وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا. Allah is forbade us and told us and ordered us. وَلَا تَهِنُوا. Don't be depressed, and don't be saddened, and don't be humiliated. You are dignified. وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. If you're true believers. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. True believers, they have no fear, and they will now have no sadness. Because the shaitan, the devil, loves someone to get sad. And you don't want to do that. And one of the dua of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and everybody should probably use it in their daily dua, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-hammi wal-hazan. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from ham, which is the extreme sadness, and depression. And what happened, Ibn al-Qayyim said, al-huzn yud'if al-qalb. The sadness will weaken the heart and will weaken the determination. And there is nothing loved by shaitan except from feeling sadness in the heart of the believer. So be happy, be optimistic, think good of Allah. There is a worship called ihsan al-dhanni billah. Think positive of Allah, that Allah will turn this thing around, will turn this COVID around into something positive, that we're not going to be in this forever, that we're going to, things will get much, much easier. And then tawakkal ala Allah, and then depend on Allah, and you'll find happiness and in rida and satisfaction in all situations. And he's giving an advice. Don't ruin your day or your happiness with worrying. Do not ruin your mind with pessimism. Do not ruin your success with arrogance. Do not ruin the optimism of others by their, how come you say, getting disappointed or, discouraged. And do not ruin your day when you look at yesterday. Always look ahead to tomorrow, because you only have what you have in your hand. And then you also look around and then have trust in Allah. Allah did not give you something that you wanted.
1 minute is, I think, up about 5 minutes ago. We were trying to keep on a thing. For all of you who are watching this right now, we're trying to stay balanced in what we're doing, because we want to help everybody get the real message. And we found that recently that we lose a lot of folks whenever one person is just talking or reading something. And it's very good, but there's nothing going on, and they will just get distracted real fast. And I don't know what to say about that. But Sheikh, there's something in Arabic in Surah Baqarah, if I'm not mistaken, and it's saying that certainly Allah is with those who are having this quality of what? Sabr. Do you
Inna Allah ma'a sabirin.
say it slowly?
Inna Allah ma'a sabirin. Allah is with those who are patient. So if you can imagine, Allah is with you. You don't need anybody. You'll be. It's an insurance policy.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. And while you were saying that, I put it up there. We have some images here that it. And then what about Allah likes those who are thankful? Do you know that one in Arabic? Allah likes those who are
Allah yuhibbu shakirin. Allah loves those who are thankful and grateful. And then there's another verse. وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If the Rasulullah
you know what? If I'm going to put these images up there, it's good for you to be on the same page with me. And
Sure, absolutely. I'm going.
Yeah, because I was just getting ready to put one up there, and it says, let me see if I can find it again.
Yeah.
It says, this one is saying, you can give the Arabic for this. Do not
Allah loves those who are thankful. Allah yuhibbu shakirin.
What?
To be thankful to Allah, Allah would love you.
I don't have that one. I'm trying to tell you. I'll say the English, and then you do the Arabic. It says, do not lose hope nor be sad.
وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا. I just mentioned it in a couple of minutes ago.
Yes.
Do not be saddened, and do not be how could I say, humiliated. لا تهنوا ولا تحزنوا.
I wasn't fast enough to grab all of those, but I was trying to do that. But anyway, so we had some of these images up there that would, I think, really help. Okay, this is my favorite one. That is in Surah Ra'ad, chapter 13, verse 28. You've heard me say that so many times, Doctor. I'm going to put it up on the screen and read it in English, and then you tell us what is that in the Arabiya, okay? And then after the break, we'll come back and talk about the Arabiya, the Arabic language. It says, verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest.
ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. Wouldn't the remember of Allah give peace and tranquility to the hearts? Allah is giving that question. The answer is, of course, yes. Astoundingly, yes. So everybody should take advantage of dhikrullah to calm the hearts.
Okay, let's do that. Let's take our break right now and come back with the... Oh, wait, you know what? This is the book we were just talking about.
Yes, it's on Amazon.
That is the book. Well, this one's not on Amazon. It's in my hand. All right, so. This book right here. Oh, man. By the way, if you like to just open a book up and turn to something and look down, this book is set up like that. It has little vignettes that you can just open up and start reading. I turned to page 114. It said, don't grieve over unworthy things. And then it says, by being unconcerned over the trivial matters, you're going to display a virtue that will bring you happiness. For those who are lofty in their aims, they're always engrossed only with the concern for the hereafter. And I think that that's really a good chance for us to take this break. And then we'll be here after that little break. How about that? The hereafter, you get that? Sorry. All right. So everybody stay tuned and stay guided with
Guide Us TV.
Ah, yeah. Here's how you can watch.
Here are some ways to get Guide Us TV. Via satellite on Galaxy 19 FTA. At this satellite frequency, transponder rate 5, frequency 11836 MHz, polarity vertical, symbol rate 20770, FEC 3/4, channel ID, Guide US TV. You can also download the app to your smartphone. Available for iPhones from the App Store, for Android on Google Play. And now Guide Us TV is available on Roku. Get guided with Guide Us TV.
And we're coming back to you right now. All right. So, yeah, that didn't take that long, did it? Now, I hope that you shared this with somebody right now. Did you tell anybody about guideus.app? Guideus.app. Because tomorrow we're going to start a program and you'll really want to have that on your phone or on your computer. Guideus.app. And I'm going to show you about that tomorrow. But this today we're working on a couple of things. Number one, we're talking about not being sad. If you just tuned in, this is the book that we're talking about. You don't have to get this book. You can just read the Quran. But this is Dr. Aidel Qarni. And he's a sheikh or an alim, a scholar in Islam. In
Aidel Qarni. Yes, he's a great guy.
Yeah, and I've only met him a few times, and we're not real tight yet because we haven't really had that chance. But I was saying that you could just flip open to this book, any page, and they're short, little parts of a page, really, that will give you an idea. For instance, I just now turned to page 215. It says prudence. Those who spend prudently, carefully, be careful where you put your money. Those who spend prudently are saved from having to depend on others. And then he gives you a piece of poetry. And the translation, this is translated from Arabic. It says, save your money, for with wealth comes respect. And you can do without asking an uncle or a cousin. In Arabic, it kind of rhymes, So that is a great philosophy, promoting to not be extravagant in your spending, because that will give you a false sense of being powerful or something that you're really not. Anyway, so that is one of the subjects that we want to talk about, but I'd like to invite Dr. Sultan to give us a little bit more about the physical thing about being happy. What will happen when we're sad like that? And doctor, you need to move over a little bit because you are, to your right.
Okay, all right.
You're right. Yeah, you move your chair over or move your camera over so that, because I'm cutting you off. There you go. MashaAllah. Go ahead, doctor.
Okay. Dr. Adel beautifully described all parts of sadness and advised how we can handle those situations. You see, these are most of the situational type of incidences which will give us sadness or depression, like losing the job, like losing parents, loved ones, loss of money in investment, etc., etc. Social distancing, not be able to meet family members. Those are situational causes for sadness and depression. Now, I deal mostly with sadness and depression based on physical causes of illness, on physical causes, because those things self-talk, psychological talk, and things like that are not going to help. So first of all, let me differentiate between the term sadness and depression. What's the difference between? Well, if you have some bad thing happens, loss of job or money or whatever, you're saddened. So that's a sad, but there's no depression. Depression is when sadness is combined with hopelessness. You see, you have no hope. You see, this thing happened. There's no way that I can get a job again. I can't see. I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. That is depression. I give you one example today. A 23-year-old kid comes in with severe depression, numerous attempts to commit suicide. 23-year-old, there's no money problem. Parents are taking care of him. Just he is depressed, and I figured out that he had various physical causes for depression. One of the things that you can situational, it's situational. But there's also another very important factor which will give you that if your mental symptoms are on physical basis, not just purely on psychological basis. And those will be, you will see that along with depression, you may have other symptoms, like, for example, headaches, for example, anxiety, like OCD, poor memory, poor concentration, unable to think clearly, foggy mind, mental fatigue, mood swings. So if you have these kind of symptoms, then you should look for a physician who specializes in physical causes of illness, not just psychological or psychiatric causes of illness, and not be put on antidepressants and so on and so forth. For example, I will just discuss only two most important physical causes of chronic depression and this mental symptomatology. Number one, unsuspected low thyroid. You will see that along with depression, you may have symptoms of low thyroid like fatigue, morning fatigue, tired by the end of the day, feeling excessively cold, cold hands, cold feet, dry skin. If these are the kind of symptoms, you should go to your physician and look for the possibility of low thyroid, which will explain these issues. The second most important cause, a physical cause I find is, this is called, it's a big medical term, but I'll explain to you. It's called SIFO, S-I-F-O. Many people know what SIBO is, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. This is small intestinal fungal overgrowth because of antibiotics, birth control pills, diet high in carbohydrate, sugar. That causes the increase of this yeast and the fungus in the gut. And this is called gut-brain connection. If you have mental symptoms, look for the term on the internet called gut-brain connection. You will see that you may have, along with your brain symptoms, you may have digestive symptoms: constipation, diarrhea, gas, belching, bloating, indigestion, coated tongue. So if these are this is called the gut-brain connection. If that is, you need to go to some physician who really specializes in gut issues and treat this SIFO problem. And that is one of the most important, as a matter of fact, I would say there's the most common physical cause for depression, not situational. So I mean, we can take another day and talking about just the physical causes of depression and signs and symptoms and other things, because this is such a common problem that very interesting thing. Consumer Report some years ago, and because typically see all these mental problems we get on Prozac and antidepressant and what not, Lexapro, on and on. So the problem of depression, it is so common that the Consumer Report reported that the non-use of mind-affecting drugs is a behavior that is non-use of mind-affecting drugs is an aberrant behavior that deviates from the norms of the American society. So If you're not on antidepressant, you're a normal person, because norm of the society is that most people have taken or are currently taking mind-affecting drugs. Yes.
I want to add to Dr. Sultan. Nice, descriptions. There are things that people do. Like now, they're starting actually because we're in the middle of the seasonal affective disorder with the winter, ditching alcohol. We'll see if they can do it during the month of January. Like make this month of January dry month. They started in UK. Now people are copying it in the US, knowing that the alcohol depressed the immunity, will make new diseases like congestive heart failure, arrhythmias, cancer, high cholesterol, diabetes, and so on. And then fried food that's linked into obesity and heart disease and stroke. So what you put in also can affect your health. Which if health goes down, then people become depressed, and if they're overweight, become depressed. So this is one way to prevent that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. So in a nutshell, when we are talking about sadness and depression, we should keep both the situational and as well as think about physical causes for these cerebral symptoms, depression, anxiety, and so on and so forth.
What doctor, in a nutshell, if you will, can you give us a simple thing maybe to remember this by? How about, we're talking about the brain, we're talking about the stomach and the bowels, so the gut, as you said. So how about just an overall view of what we're talking about when we're feeling depressed? Somebody's feeling depressed, they're down, they feel like they're worthless, they don't, that is the scene that we are familiar with. But sure. So we're saying there are two things that we need to focus on, and Dr. Adil brought it out in the first part of our program very clear, and that is we've got to deal with our mind, our spirituality, and so forth. But then you're bringing out the physical side. So our diet, what we're consuming, and this can make us depressed even more. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the diet is just one factor, which Dr. Adil alluded to, alcohol. It also
we don't need to do a rehash. I just wanted to. I just want to verify. See, we're trying to get this down to something that's real simple to remember.
Yeah, well, I will give you one place.
Whether I'm putting it into my brain, or putting it into my stomach, all right, or putting it into my heart. So brain, heart, stomach, garbage in, garbage out. How about that?
That's 100% true. So let me give a clinical, very easy to remember point.
Okay.
And it is, my field is environmental medicine. And one of the greatest discoveries made in the field of environmental medicine is, contrary to the usual belief, most mental symptomatology, especially the serious kind, happens from physical causes, not psychological causes, you see. So therefore, you have to seek physical causes. See, what happens is, many times, let me tell you, a lot of that times, the psychiatric diagnosis is a garbage can diagnosis. Like, for example, patient may go to the physician for depression. Patient may go to the physician for digestive complaint. Patient may go with fatigue. The doctor may run the lab test, everything come out to be normal, and say, I think it's psychological. You see, no, it is not psychological. And then they will put on antidepressant drug or what and whatnot as your nerves, that thing. I mean, come on, we need some physical causes. We need some definite proof that, yes, it is a psychological illness. There's no lab test or any other bona fide test that can tell you that this illness is as a mental illness when you label it. I'm just talking about the labeling. I'm not talking about the cause right now. So many times these poor patients who are suffering from physical ailments like low thyroid, low hormones, etc., the mood or are depressed, that they put into the psychiatric category, and then the only thing is the psychology and the psychiatrist and the medications to deal with them for years together. Many times patients come to me, they say, Doc, honestly, I don't think that I've got any psychological reason for depression, but my doctor says it is psychological. I am happily married. I got a good job. My husband earns very well, but I am very much depressed. Same thing. I gave an example today of a 23-year-old kid who is provided for everything. What's the reason for this was kid to be depressed? But when I took a detailed history, I could figure out there are many physical causes for the depression. So the best thing, one thing to remember is when you have unexplained mental symptomatology, you've got to go to physicians who specialize in looking for physical causes. There are two types of physicians whom you should seek advice, and probably you'll be successful. Number one is physicians who specialize in environmental medicine. So you can look it up on the American Academy of Environmental Medicine. That's one thing. And they're physicians. The second thing is physicians who specialize in functional medicine. These are the two kind of physicians who are well familiar with physical aspects of mental illness. So I hope that gives guidance to people who are suffering, but they really don't know why they have that mental symptomatology.
Additional tips to Dr. Sultan's input will be some types of food that will help to elevate and boost your mood, like salmon, fatty fish with rich in omega-3 fish oil, the dark chocolate, bananas, oats, berries, blueberries, strawberries, nuts and seeds, and also moderate intake of coffee. Additional things from a spiritual point of view will involve prayer. When you come connect with Allah, you'll find happiness. That will take the sadness away. Fasting, and Ramadan is coming soon. That's a therapy by itself, and remembrance of Allah. If you have this, that will replace the sadness with happiness. And this is a clear, guaranteed results if anybody wants to approach it. And then there's a multi-system approach. We approach it from physical, nutritional, metabolic, as well as a spiritual approach. So all this combined together to get people out of sadness into, happiness and into productive life.
Yeah, Rather you have summarized this very beautifully. Excellent. That's the nutshell, really. Yeah.
All right, mashallah, mashallah. All right, well, I think that it's a good chance for us to talk about our other subject now. And in order to introduce this subject, I should tell you that as a non-Arab, and most, over 90% today of all the Muslims in the world are not Arabs. Over 90%. It used to be like 88% when I came to Islam. But now in the last 3 decades, so many more people have come into Islam at the efforts of all the brothers and sisters around the world. We've all been pushing, get the message out. So it's working. Now we find, though, that there are a lot of people that don't know the Arabic at all. Even saying salami, what is that salami thing that you guys do? Or,
Salami sandwich.
Yeah, salami, it's haram. Well, I can just say hamdulillah. No, don't say that either. So I wanted to stay far away from the Arabic language. I said, well, do I have to do it? They said, well, no, you don't have to, but if you don't, you're going to really be missing something really, really great. So they were talking to me about this, and I said, well, have I got to wear this beanie, and have I got to do it? They said, no, you don't have to do any of that. over the years, and it took me about 2 years to get excited about the Arabic language. Because of what? I was afraid, and I wouldn't admit it, I was afraid to say that I don't know something. I didn't want to be ashamed of being 50 years old and not knowing anything about this language at all. Because Arabic doesn't even start on the same side of the page. Forget about all of the squiggly letters and so on. They don't even look like letters to us because we're used to A, B, C, like that. And so whenever you start showing me squiggly lines and tell me that's a vowel or that's a consonant, and I'm like, what the hey, man, I don't know, have a clue what you're talking about. Also, you're looking at starting at the top, yeah, that's good, and going from the right to the left. Instead of the left to the right. So, nah, I don't want to do it. What we did, we made a program for people just like you and me. And we made this program on the internet that every one of us can use that. Let me see if I can pull it up for you right now. It's called ArabicInEnglish.com. ArabicInEnglish.com. And I've got it, but it's not showing up real good. Let me just try to pull it so you can see it a little bit. There we go. Yeah. This is the website, ArabicInEnglish.com. It's the introduction to the Arabic language, but it uses the English you already know. And I really, really encourage you to take the opportunity, especially now that this is a great time. We're in this so-called pandemic or whatever you want to call it, but this means that this could be your opportunity to use this and find out more about that Arabic language. Because guess what? The hadith of our beloved prophet are in Arabic. The Quran is in Arabic. And if you're relying on a translation, well, you've got a problem already, and I'm going to tell you why. Because whenever somebody relies on the translation, they are going to automatically be limited. The translators are basically telling you what to think. And well, you might say that, well, okay, I'm used to that with the Bible. And that's true, you are used to that with the Bible, but that's one of the problems in Christianity. You don't really know what was originally said. And because of that, I think that this is especially good for you. And while I'm talking, I'm trying to make this thing work out, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or not. If I can, there we go. It's, oh dear. Now, see, what I'm going to try to do is to play this for you to see the introduction. This is just the introduction to the course, but it is an online course that you can download and use right in your home, and for pennies. If you break it down over the year, this is just a few cents a day. Listen.
Wassalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Up until very recently, this is the way that you would expect to learn the Arabic language. Was someone coming in the traditional dress, the traditional way, and speaking only the Arabic language to you and showing you everything as you see it here. Yes, so that's why we're going to offer this special presentation of Arabic in English. One of the letters in the Arabic language is called lam. Now, it's not a sheep, it's lam. I think when you see how we put this together, you'll realize that this is a great way for our youth to learn the Arabic language, for new Muslims who would like to know more about their religion, for those who are intimidated a bit by the Arabic and never tried it, for those who would just like to know Arabic in general, to know what people are talking about. and, as they say, see what they're saying. So we're going to try, inshallah, to cover all of those things in this program.
All right. Now, if you were looking real close, you will notice that it said $7.99. That is the full series, and you can download that for $7.99. And this is not that. This is a part of our nonprofit organization. So if you are not able to come up with the $8, you can send it to me. Send your situation with your email. And let me see if I can find, contact@guideus.tv. Contact@guideus.tv. Send that and let me know what your situation is. And we have some brothers and sisters who would help those who are not able to pay, especially during this pandemic, so that this course can be the door. Now, what it is simple. It's very simple, and it's going to make it so that in 3 hours, you will memorize the entire Arabic alphabet. You will understand how they connect. You'll understand how they are spoken or they're pronounced, so that you'll begin to read. Now, this is not all about knowing what the words mean. That's later in the course. But for the 3 hours, you will be able to look at something and have the confidence to move forward. For instance, I'll give you one letter, is Aleph. It's a straight stick sticking up, okay? Aleph. And so what we did, we drew the little tick that's on the top of it, and it made it look like a leaf. And I said, this is a stick, and it has a leaf on it. A leaf. Only one. A leaf. A leaf. Aleph. Duh. Now you got it. It's so simple. So simple. And then you saw that I was drawing like this with the waves in the ocean. And we said, okay, this represents the line. Okay, there's a line in writing, whether you're writing in English or anything, you go below the line, above the line, okay? Like a J hangs down below the line, a G hangs down, P hangs down. Okay, so the same way in Arabic, you have stuff that goes below the line of demarcation, and then you have things that go above it. So we went like this, and we said, now see where these little points are. There are some letters in the Arabic that are like this. They just go like that. And then you'll see a dot over a point. So what we did, we exaggerated it, and we show you, this is an ocean. All right. And then right above this point, there is the sun. Here's the sun up here. Of course, it's just a dot. But this represents what? The sun. And what time is it whenever the sun is straight up? Noon, right? And that's the name of the letter. When you see a dot over a point, noon. And now if you see 2, that's real easy. It's ta. What does the word to start with? Ta. And if you see 3 dots over it, tha. 3, 2, 1, and that is noon. Noon, ta, tha. Bam. Got it. And if there's a dot below the line, that's easy. Below. Ba. Just say it. It's simple. So if you use that course, you'll really have a lot of fun with it. Now that's the introduction. Next time we're going to talk about the words, the meaning, and the translations. And Dr. Adil is going to help us with that, inshallah ta'ala. Is that right, Doctor?
Inshallah, absolutely. I want people to get very excited about Arabic. And
we got
from the Quran,
we got 15 seconds. We got to roll out.
Just it's a hudan wa shifa, guidance and cure. When somebody reads Quran, somebody look for therapy, it's a free therapy right there.
And everybody stay guided with
Guidance TV.
Here are some ways to get Guidus TV.